Hey, I'm Mr. Clark. Welcome to my lessons. Let's get started, shall we? Today we're going to convert decimals. We're going to convert them to fractions and percents both. So let's use this as an example. We're going to convert 42 hundredths to a fraction. Okay, so it's this simple. We say the number out loud. So we say 42 hundredths. Say 42 hundredths. We could say 0 and 42 hundredths. So we say it. Then we write this in fraction form. 42 hundredths, 0 and 42 hundredths. Then we simplify the fraction. Or we reduce the fraction. So 42 hundredths. Oh, I didn't write that in fraction form, did I? I did that in decimal. Oops. So they're both even, so we can divide them both by 2. That gives you 21 fiftieths. We got to see if there's a common factor in 21 and 50. Well, the factors of 21 are 1, 3, 7, and 21. Do any of those go into 50? Nope. So that's your answer. So it's like the game Bop It. You know that game Bop It? Where it's bop it, twist it, pull it. Yeah, that one. But we do it like this. We say it, write it, simplify it. Or let's say reduce it. Say it, write it, reduce it. But you got to do it in that order, not like Bop It. Bop It, it'll just throw it at you randomly. All right, so let's say it, write it, reduce it, say it. 5/10. Write it. 5/10. Reduce it. Divide them both by 5. Half. 5/10 is a half. Next one, 73 hundredths. Say it. Write it. 73 hundredths. Simplify it. Reduce it. Well, 73 is prime. I can't reduce that. And 73 does not go into 100. Next one, say it. 35 hundredths. Write it. Reduce it. Well, 35 ends with a 5 and 100. We can divide both those by 5. So 7/20ths. Can we simplify 7/20ths? 7's prime, P-R-I-M-E. Nope. Okay, say it. 1 and 5/10. Write it. Reduce it. Well, we can't reduce the 1. 5/10 we can. We can divide both those by 5 to get to a half. 1 and a half. Say it. 73 thousandths, not hundredths. Write it. Reduce it. Well, 73 is prime still. Not reducing that one. Say it. 120 and 4 hundredths. Write it. Reduce it. 4 hundredths. 4 goes into 100 25 times. So it's 100. Don't just write 1/25th. 100 and 1/25th. All right, that's how we convert decimals to fractions. Now let's convert decimals to percents. Remember the word percent? Percent means per 100. Divide by 100 to change it to a percent. Well, percent is divided by 100. So instead of starting with a percent, we're starting with a decimal. So instead of dividing by 100, we're going to do the inverse. What's the inverse of dividing? So we're going to multiply by 100. Okay? And as you know, when we multiply by 100, whatever that number is, we're just basically moving the decimal 2 spots right. We might need to annex some zeros sometimes. All right, so 5/10. We're going to multiply, oh, that's 42 hundredths multiplied by 100. So that just gives you 42%. Got to put the percent sign. Okay, 5/10. We're going to multiply 5 times 100. Best way to do that, just move the decimal 2 spots. So that's 50%. 73 hundredths times 100 is 73%. 35 hundredths times 100 is 35%. 1 and 5/10 times 100, got to annex a 0 again, It's 150%. Anything bigger than 1 is going to be bigger than 100%. Okay. 73 thousandths multiplied by 100. Move the decimal 2 spots. 7.3%. 120 and 4 hundredths multiplied by 100. Have the decimals there. So it's 12,004%. That's a big percent. All right, so when we multiply by 100, we're really just moving the decimal 2 spots to the right. We're moving the place value 2 to the right. If we divide by 100, we do 2 to the left, so don't get that confused. All right, that's what we're working with today, converting decimals to percents and converting decimals to fractions. I hope you learned a thing or two. Thank you for joining me today.